Hey everyone, Reid Henrichs with Valor. I'm not doing the intro, I'm not doing the music, I'm getting right to the point on this. After last week, we know stupid leftists are going to do what stupid leftists do. They're violent, they're going to try to shoot people up. It's a very unique form of political persuasion where leftist minions can go and shoot people and then have their representatives clamor for gun control of law-abiding citizens like us. But what I'm real disturbed with, and I've been talking about this for a couple of months now, is Donald Trump's response. I've got an article right here from Breitbart. Not exactly a Trump enemy, and I'm going to read you this article. This is by Charlie Spearing, just dropped today on the 9th of August. President Donald Trump again indicated Friday that Republicans could lead the way to expand background checks for Americans purchasing firearms. Quote, "I think that Republicans are going to be great and lead the charge along with the Democrats," Trump said. Trump said Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell was totally on board with the idea and said that even hardline Senate supporters of the Second Amendment were interested in the idea. He said he also spoke to Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi about the issue. "We have," quote, "we have tremendous support for really common sense, sensible, important background checks." I'm not going to read you the whole article, but that's not like, this isn't my interpretation of Trump, wanting gun control. I don't do that anyway. Like, I'm giving you a direct quote from the President of the United States, who in 2015 ran on a platform diametrically opposed to gun control. So he got people that were tired of Barack Obama and his administration to overwhelmingly vote for him, high voter turnout, and that's what we wanted, was a person who would protect the Second Amendment after so many posturing sessions by the Democrats from 2008 to 2016. Here we are again with the president who's already done a bump stock ban, needlessly. He's already talked about and gone to a foreign country and did not defend the Second Amendment, said he didn't like silencers. Now we've got him calling on Republican leadership to expand gun control. This is not what people voted for. And all of you Trump supporters out there, all you people out there that have supported him and saying how smart he is, how he's playing the field, this isn't good. This is not acceptable. This is not what people voted for, and this is not what the President of the United States of America should be doing against the Second Amendment. Okay, the Second Amendment is the only thing in the Bill of Rights that says shall not be infringed. Well, I'm sorry, but we have been infringed in 1934. We have been infringed in 1968. We have been infringed with the Hughes Amendment under Ronald Reagan. We've been infringed in 1994 with the Clinton administration. We were infringed upon 1989, 1990 with Daddy Bush's administration. In fact, in my lifetime, one of the few presidents who has never infringed on the Second Amendment with any act was Barack Obama. Now, I'm not saying he wouldn't have done it, because I surely hate the dude, and I was against everything that Barack Obama stood for, but the dude actually didn't do anything against the Second Amendment. Donald Trump has, and he's currently in the act of doing this again. Folks, I usually give stuff a couple of days and cool off, like with all this stuff. I've been out, I've been traveling, I've been training, I've been doing all kinds of stuff. I'm busy. I run a business. Now, the problem is that after all this time going on, when I've got enough time to reflect on it and think about it, because I take these videos very seriously, and I know there's a huge responsibility that comes with it, because I know you're watching this thinking the same thing. Most of you anyway. But here's the thing. After I hear stuff like this, like, I'm going to get this information out there because I know that a lot of you are concerned. Oh, and he's not just talking to politicians either. He's talking to NRA leadership. Trump, here's from the article again. Trump confirmed that he spoke with Wayne LaPierre of the national Mr. $40,000 clothing shopper in one day. Trump confirmed that he spoke with Wayne LaPierre, the National Rifle Association, about the issue and suggested that he could even oppose the organization on the issue. But then he says, "I think I could, but I don't think I'll be there," Trump said regarding the possibility of opposing the NRA. He also hinted that the NRA could support his idea or even be neutral on the proposed legislation. And that proposed legislation is, once again, expanded background checks. So now he's going to try to, way to go, NRA. Way to stand and fight. Way to stand and fight, right? So here we are, guys, as gun owners. Here we are in this situation where we had to endure this for 8 years under the Obama administration, all the posturing, all the threats against the Second Amendment. They actually didn't do anything against the Second Amendment, but they threatened to do it. And then on the opposite end of that, we've got a guy that ran on a pro-Second Amendment platform, Donald Trump. "Oh, no, I'll protect your Second Amendment. You're the greatest Second Amendment president ever." Well, actually, no, that's not true. You've been horrible for the Second Amendment, President Trump. So I don't know what that's going to mean for 2020, because if you piss on gun owners like you've done and that you continue to do, you're going to lose. And this election should be a landslide against the Democrats. I mean, as loony and as socialist and as insane as they are, like, this should be a 48-state victory for Republicans. And instead, you're going to lose. And the reason why you're going to lose is because you did not keep your promise to protect the Second Amendment. Gun owners are very passionate about their rights. They're very passionate about this country. And for me to say and to get everybody out there and tell people to say, you know what, you screwed the pooch, you're not worthy of my vote in 2020, that's a serious deal. And the NRA, like, I'm sorry, man, like, you guys are about as useless as a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. Oh, Reid used profanity in one of his videos. Big deal. If you're more offended about my profanity in this video than you are about what the President of the United States and the Republicans are doing, you've got mental issues, and you've got problems, and you may want to recalibrate your belief in this country, if that's the issue. Oh, Democrats, I'm not letting you off the hook either, Mr. Beto O'Rourke. Keep that crap off on the battlefield. Used a different word for feces. Well, Beto, you've never been on a battlefield. You've never been in any violent situation. In fact, the most violent situation, I think, is when you probably got body slammed by the police when you tried to run from your DUI. So you have no opinion to talk about this either. We all know what the rabid Democrats are going to want to do. They eventually want registration and confiscation and elimination of not only firearms, but their political opposition. But unfortunately, folks, here we're in a situation where a guy who so many of us believed would do the right thing in his presidency is in fact doing the opposite of what he said he was going to do. At this point, we've tried the ballot box. We tried it, and you know, we went in droves to go vote for him. The soapbox, do we have anybody speaking for us? Yeah, you got people on YouTube and maybe some people in the news that do it. But other than that, we don't have too many politicians that are protecting our rights. We don't have too many people out there that are protecting who we are and what this country is about. There are a handful of people in Washington that do. But overwhelmingly, the Republican Party has proven inept, ineffective, disjointed, disorganized, and has a lack of fighting spirit that is so pathetic that I cannot in good conscience continue to even support them in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to do it. And I sure as hell don't support the Democrats. No, what I support is our founding fathers. What I support is our Constitution. What I support is our Bill of Rights. And you know what? Here's the deal, folks. If these people get in the way of that, if they get in the middle of that process of eliminating those documents from existence, they keep truncating them, they keep eliminating our way of life, and we're going to have a problem here. We're going to have a serious problem in the future, because who are we going to have that represents us? Well, we're going to have ourselves. We're going to have ourselves to represent who we are. Because when government fails to do that, they no longer govern by consent of the governed. And I think we're at that point where when we've been turned on by people who we trusted, they're a bunch of liars. You would almost have to be a sociopath to go and be a politician at this point. That's how crazy the situation is. And here's from the article again, just to reiterate my point. Trump said that congressional leadership was working together on background check proposals and would probably move forward on something when they return from their August vacation. Quote, "I don't think we'll need to call them back," he said. Trump's endorsement of the idea of expanded background checks runs against his 2015 campaign stance on the issue. His 2015 campaign document on protecting the Second Amendment reads verbatim, quote, "Every time a person buys a gun from a federally licensed gun dealer, which is the overwhelming majority of all gun purchases, they go through a federal background check. Too many states are failing to put criminal and mental health records into the system, and it should go without saying that a system's only going to be as effective as the records they're put into it. What we need to do is fix the system we have and make it work as intended. What we don't need to do is expand a broken system." That was candidate Trump, verbatim from his website. So I ask all you Trump supporters once again, defend the words and the actions of this president against our Second Amendment. And don't label me anti-American, because I stand up for the Founding Fathers and for the Second Amendment and for our way of life and for our historical heritage. I stand up for that. What you Trump minions do not stand for is the rule of law, limited government, and individual liberty. You believe in the strong man. And there are people like you littered throughout history with shame. And so if you continue to defend these words and this action of this person, well, I think we're done here. And I don't think I have much to share for you. Because if you're unwilling and unable to listen and heed these words of caution, that this can go off the rails real quick, why, you need some critical thinking skill building. This is Reid Henrichs with Valor Ridge, reminding you that the lessons we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.